Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we are merely role players, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt, I'm your compere for this Backstage episode from our main house production, and I'm joined backstage by Ellen. Welcome.
Hello. So,
Ellen, the purpose of this episode is, when we did your character creation for Jess Butterworth, we were introduced to another character that comes with her.
Yeah, you buy one, get one free.
Yeah, her mysterious spirit guide. And the very first thing is that we never named that character in the character creation episode.
Yep.
And then there are a few other unanswered questions that I have about that character before we meet them in the game.
Okie dokie.
So I thought we'd do a little recording where we put some, not necessarily flesh on the bones, because this is an insubstantial character.
But Who knows?
Let's recap first of all what we know about them, because actually I have conflicting notes about this.
Oh, okay.
So when we created Jess, we had to pick 3 tags for her dark side. And like how the relationship with the spirit guide character is represented. Now I've got noted down that we went with rage and dark bargains, but then I have 2 different versions of my note where either we picked poor impulse control or greed for power as the third one. What do your notes say, and what do you remember it being?
I remember it being poor impulse control. That was it.
Okay.
Poor impulse control. Because I think the choice was between rage and greed for power. And I was like, I can't have both. That would make me terrible. So, yeah.
Great. Okay. So it's rage, dark bargains, poor impulse control are our kind of keywords for this. And that kind of describes what your spirit guide wants of you or demands of you in exchange for the powers that you have. So that's our starting point. It's been, who knows how long it is in podcast
1,000
time
years
since between this and the character creation episode. For us, it's been about 6 months, maybe 7. Has a name bubbled up in that time?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think the name that Jess knows this spirit by is not necessarily its true name. It's the name that it has presented to her. And that name is Kit.
Okay. I like it.
Okay.
And do you have pronouns for this?
No.
Inhuman character?
The way that I'm seeing this spirit is they are a manifestation of everything that Jess holds most high. So what she sees is not necessarily their actual nature. They've tapped into something in her. And Jess is this character who desperately wants to leave this town. Before she finds out there's actually interesting things going on, she feels like she's better than this place. She wants to be bigger. She thinks she's the coolest kid in town. And this spirit finds something in her that is really vulnerable to be taken advantage of. So I think they present to her as this ultra cool, I'm imagining kind of genderless, sort of new romantic figure who tells her she's special, who tells her, you're like me, do what I say, I'll show you the way. And because Jess doesn't particularly like people, she's quite antisocial. She's, I think, possibly had some latent psychic abilities.
Yeah.
Because she can read people. She doesn't particularly she's not very friendly, but she gets people. She understands them.
So there was an element of something of that about her even before Kit came on the scene.
I imagined so.
Yeah. So she was kind of, that's why she was targeted.
Exactly. So there's this kind of, this vulnerability in that ability that she didn't know she had. And this spirit has tapped right into that. Because I think generally she is quite cynical about people in general. So this character has to really have some kind of allure to her. And I think that allure is a promise that she is as special and as cool as she thinks she is. And they can show her the way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I really like this idea of like it's a supernatural being, and everything is very, very magical about it, but the sort of the dynamic of the relationship is still that quite grounded, recognizable, like cool, slightly older person who you want to be like, and
totally.
who eggs you on to do things that you might not otherwise do that might be a bit reckless.
Yep. So yeah, that's the image I think that Jess is seeing. I don't necessarily want to say what the true nature is, because Jess doesn't know, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that that's one of the, like, a lot of what we do in these games is we play the game to find these things out.
Exactly.
We don't decide them in advance. So I'm happy to leave what is Kit's true form, what even is Kit. Is Kit a ghost or a fairy or a spirit? All of those questions we can discover in the moment, because I think it's more exciting that way. And
what on earth does he want with Jess Butterworth?
Yeah. Yes, what dark bargains will be struck? So you mentioned appearance, the kind of like new romantic style. So yes. When Kit appears to Jess, they do. There is she does see something physical. Is it like a humanoid appearance?
Yes, I imagine so.
Okay. Yeah. So genderless new romantic style. Yeah, we can work with that.
That's an aesthetic, isn't it?
It certainly is. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Again, we can discover whether Kit is able to or ever wants to appear to anybody else. And what they might look like if they did, whether they'd look the same or not.
Oh, that would be fun.
But yeah, for the moment, it's definitely Jess's imaginary friend.
Yes. Oh, dear.
Logistically speaking, who do you want to play Kit? Do you want me to play Kit so we can bounce off each other, or do you want to play Kit so you have total control over what they do?
I imagined that you would be playing Kit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very happy to do that.
Yeah, I just think that would be more fun. Otherwise, it's just going to be me talking to myself for a long time, and that's going to be weird.
That's the disadvantage of doing that. I mean, there's comedy potential in that.
There really is. I just think that it leaves a bit for Jess as a character. If I'm playing her, for me to not really know what's going on, and for you to have that in your kind of playground, I think is so much more fun.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kit can surprise Jess more if Kit isn't coming out of your head, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. Just giving you a character.
All right. Yes, you have. And do you have any notes for me on the vocal qualities? Do you have an idea in your head about voice?
No,
or do you want to leave that to me?
Artistic choice.
Okay, well, I'll take the brief of a cool older kid.
Yeah.
I think I remember from the character creation episode, one of the things that you said was that they present as somebody who's quite sweet and nice at first, until they don't get what they want, or until they sort of become more forceful and take control. So that will be an interesting thing to work with as well.
That was kind of, I was playing off the kind of the idea of the fae and the fairies in a lot of sort of literature and mythology. These incredibly powerful creatures. And I'm not necessarily saying that Kit is a fairy necessarily, but there's a glamour and there's a charm that is incredibly alluring, almost like a siren to whoever they're focusing that at. But that can snap. And what is hidden beneath that, and what their actual motives are and their true selves, can be really quite different. So that was the idea I had.
Okay,
in my head.
Just giving me the challenge of playing an incredibly charismatic character.
Yeah, you can do it. Just be yourself. Just be yourself.
Everybody admires this person and everyone just wants to do what they say. Just play that.
It's within your range.
Well, thank you. I'm very flattered to hear that.
There you go. You're welcome. You're so welcome.
There are some sort of details that, again, you could feel very free to answer this question with I don't know, let's find out in the session itself. But I'm interested in whether we think there is a timing coincidence between Jess's brother disappearing and Jess discovering all of her brother's effects and learning about magic and things from his notes, and Kit coming on the scene. So do we want to leave that as a mysterious coincidence, or do we want to make any kind of explicit ties between, like, was there something in Tom's notes that might have attracted or summoned Kit?
I very much thought that could be a nice mystery. Not necessarily one that we have to answer, but immediately. But I think it's a coincidence, one that maybe Jess has noticed, but she is willfully ignoring because Kit is so alluring and gives her so much newfound power. There's a kind of a block there. She's trying to keep the two things separate.
That's interesting. That'll be a nice sort of character thread to pull on. That denial.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, might be something that we just find out as we go. Do you have any inkling in your head of, and sort of, I'm asking this question basically because you're giving me control of this character to some extent, and I don't want to end up going in a direction that you are unhappy with. Do you have any kind of inkling in your head of, like, what Kit's end game is?
Nope.
No, none?
Nope.
That's cool. That's so good that you've created this character that has such sway over you with no inkling of what they want.
I just, if I'm playing Jess, I don't want to know because I want to be playing it completely, like, as I find it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And I love that you're sort of happy enough to just kind of freewheel it that way.
Yep.
just see what happens.
Here's the character and some mysteries. All yours. Do with them as you will.
So the last thing that I think it's worth working out is you have given me the great gift of saying that when Kit is unhappy or when Kit really wants something, Kit fully takes possession of Jess. So just in terms of how we play that in the game, do you have an idea of how you want that to run? Because what I don't want to happen is, as the result of a roll or just as the result of a moment where it makes sense, Kit takes control and Ellen, the player, is kind of written out for a bit or has no control over what happens. So how do we make sure, if Kit takes control of Jess, how do we make sure that you're still having fun playing?
I guess if you as Kit, when that happens, were to sort of say what Kit does, what he wants. I keep saying he. I imagine them genderless. What they want to happen, what they are hoping to achieve. Then maybe I can play out what it physically feels like to be inside Jess's body as it's behaving it's not in her control. Yeah. So it's a sort of a double-hander together.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. And it might be quite a nice reversal of the normal way things work, where Jess is doing things and Kit is maybe commenting or offering suggestions. That suddenly there's a reversal of actually Kit is the one acting and all Jess can do is comment and plead and whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there might be nice moments where there is a kind of a battle for power between, the two characters of who actually gets their objective.
Yeah.
Be lovely if there was a dice roll for that.
I was going to say, I think there probably are, that there are ways that we can do that. There's the kind of the basic act under pressure move, which is kind of a catch-all for stuff that there isn't another rule for, that I think would, or one thing I could try and do is the game does suggest that when there's situations that aren't covered by the moves but that you think are going to come up a lot, you can write a custom move for it.
Oh, wow, cool.
So we could do like a custom Jess battles for control of her own body move.
Yes! That would be so fun.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's
cool.
do it.
We'll have a think about that. I imagine that, because if we do it with the basic act under pressure, which is like, try to do something while someone else is trying to prevent you doing it, then that's a plus cool. But trying to take repossession of your own body feels a bit more weird to me.
Yes, it does indeed.
And I know Jess is better at weird.
She is. It's her whole persona.
Yep. Yeah. I could see that working if I put together a custom move to run by you. It might be something like, if you get a full success, you take control back. If you get a failure, then Kit just gets to do what they want without any kind of hindrance. And on a mixed, maybe you get to kind of like temper the effects of what they're trying to do or something along those lines.
I mean, if you're up for that sounds really good.
100%. I think that'd be a really fun way to handle it.
Yeah, wicked.
Nice. Okay, well, now I have to make sure that Kit tries to take control so that we can get use out of that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I've handed you so much. There you go. So much stuff.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be great.
Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. So that's all the stuff that I had that I'd been concerned about or wanted to make sure that we sorted out before Jess appears on stage. Was there anything that you wanted to any other details that have come to you since we did the Backstage episode, or anything else that you think we need to sort out how it's going to work?
No, I think that was the main stuff. So as you said, the first recording was many, many months ago. So having had a chance to listen to that back, though that was the main kind of like empty question mark bubble. And I feel, I'm really happy with what we've come up with there.
Brilliant. Me too.
Excellent.
Well, Jess was already ready to play, but now Kit is as well.
Ooh. Fabulous.
This has been Vigil, a main house production from Merely Roleplayers. It stars Natalie Winter as Gwynned, Marta da Silva as Harper, Ellen Gould as Jess Butterworth, and Chris Buxey as Calisterius Softbinding. I'm Matt Boothman and I play the supporting cast. Editing and sound design by me, and the theme music is by Alexander Pankhurst. We were playing Monster of the Week, a role-playing game by Michael Sands, published by Evil Hat Productions. You can find Monster of the Week at genericgames.co.nz. Merely Roleplayers is a Foggy Outline production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Until next time, if drama be the food of life, play on.